This is Zeb from Hog Cutters Trapping Company, and today we're going to be going over the Jager Pro gate control box system. This is a informational video upon doing the control box. So first, what you're going to do, we already have this not mounted, but we have it in the gate. But I still have all the packaging in there. So this is what they call a, this is going to be all your different little tools that you're going to use in the control box itself. And then this is a remote 200 yards. It will go from like 200 yards and then you can drop your gate. Usually you wouldn't need this. Usually we use phones, but it's an extra little thing if you wanted it. Okay. So then there's gonna be more packaging. Then we're gonna have your 12-volt battery that they put in there. And so as you see, I'm having a little trouble taking it out because they have Velcro on the bottom. When gates come in, or when hogs come in to hit the gate, your battery wants to stay still. And so then, as you see in here, we have some extra padding so your servo won't get hurt from the battery hitting up against it. So then I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And then, so this is your remote. Goes 200 yards. Comes out like that. You shouldn't ever even need it if you're going to use your app, but it's just an extra little thing. And then, so what we have here is going to be your gate pin. The gate pin is for you to put it in here, so this will like keep it from coming up like that and dropping your gate. So you're going to put that in there, but right now we don't need that because we're going to set up your control box. Okay. This is going to be your antenna. Your antenna is going to come up here, and then there's a little wire that comes through this straw, just a coffee straw, and then you're going to put it in there, and then it's going to come out. Okay. Then we have your plastic mount. Your plastic mount is going to come in here on your servo, and your servo is going to connect to that servo, and then you're going to have this rod come in. So you're going to put that through there, and it's going to come in like that. Okay, and then it's going to come through the hole that's right here. And so we're going to set this over here because we're going to go ahead and mount the control box. It's not mounted, it's just sitting in there. Okay, this goes over here. If you'll come over here, it comes over here, and you'll come in here. And so the rod that I was showing you before comes over here into there. Okay, we're going to do that after we mount the control box. Okay, so now we have 4 self-tapping screws that you use to go on the back of the control box. Okay, so now we're going to start mounting our control box to our M.I.N.E gate. So what we usually do for hog cutters, we get a 3/16 drill bit, and we go ahead and drill this angle iron. The angle iron is a lot stronger than the tubing. So we already went ahead and did it, but that's what you want to do before you put your self-tapping, because your self-tapping usually will strip while you go into your angle iron. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this in. All you gotta do, just like a normal self-tapping screw, make sure you're coming in. And then also, before I forget, when you mount your control box, make sure it is on this piece of angle iron. Make sure it's all the way forward, okay? Because that is gonna allow the components to work a lot better, because then you're not stressing your components, just like a drive shaft on a truck. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in, put that in, and then you're gonna do that for all 4 times. As you notice, I didn't drill these, I just drilled the top. That's all you have to do with the 3/16 bit. Okay. And so now we have 4, and then I just like to double check it, make sure it's tight. Now you always have to be careful. You don't want to go too much because then you'll start stripping them. And once you strip them, then you have to go to a bigger self-tapping screw. Now that we have the control box fully mounted, now we're going to go ahead and start with your antenna. The antenna is right here. It's going to be that white wire. Well, it's hard for some people and then like easier because I got smaller fingers, and it'd be better if you got someone with smaller fingers. So what you're going to do is there's this little hole on this side. It has a little rubber surrounding on it. So you're going to go ahead and stick that out like that. You're going to stick it all the way out, pull a little bit, and then that should be all you got. Well, see, now that's not all I have. So I'm going to push it above that, and then I'm going to come in. So now I have more, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed that antenna through this coffee straw, and then it's going to keep going, okay? Then I'm going to go here, push it inside the control box, the straw, and then I'm still sticking out the white wire, okay? You want your white wire sticking out about this much. You don't want it any further because, you know, squirrels or something's going to chew on top of it, okay? So that's all you want out of that, okay? If you have extra, go ahead and push your straw out, and then you'll adjust the amount that's outside, okay? But for me, this one's a little short, so I'm gonna have to stick the straw in a little bit more and pull it out, and then there you go. Okay, so now we have your rod and the little plastic mount that hooks up to your servo, okay? And then you also have your little Allen wrench mount that's gonna go through here, okay? Well, before you do anything inside the control box, what you're gonna first wanna do is go ahead and put this little Allen wrench mount in here. Put it inside there, and then make it face where it comes out towards the hole is facing towards that way, okay? Because once you stick that rod out, you don't have enough room to adjust what you want to do, okay? Now we're going to go inside the control box. You're going to stick your rod through, okay? Then you're going to go for inside this, okay? You see that? Then we're going to stick your servo all the way out, okay? See how it was here? Now I stuck it out that far, okay? Now, if you come in a little bit more, you can see how this is going to go on. It kind of like pushes on there, and then it'll snap like that. And see, now we have it in. So now I'm opening and releasing, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here. Okay, so this rod, you don't want like where it's at right now. Okay, you're gonna put that rod in till you're even with this, okay? You don't wanna go any further, because when that servo is gonna come down, it won't hit. It's not gonna hit, okay? You don't want it to hit. If I did it here, and this is where some of our people have problems, see? That's gonna be a malfunction. You can't drop a gate. It's not gonna drop, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get it even with that, and then you're good to go, okay? So, takes an Allen wrench, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten that up. Now, you gotta be careful because this will spin and it might bend this rod. So just be a little bit cautious of what you do. And so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this. This already has some locking threads on it, so it's gonna go ahead and lock itself in. And all this is doing is gonna tighten that rod inside that hole, and it's gonna make it secure, okay? So I'm gonna keep tightening until it seems secure. So it is, and so we're good. I'm just gonna check it a little bit, make sure it's good. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit more because it seems a little loose. Okay. Now that we're good, it's nice and tight. Okay. So now, if you see, I'm gonna pull this rod in. Look at that. No problems whatsoever. So you always want to keep careful of that. That's really small attention to detail, but it matters when you're out in the field and you're depending on it. Okay, so now we already have our rod, our little Allen wrench mount, and then we have our antenna hooked up. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is there's these little tabs on this battery. Most of y'all will know this. You're gonna take these tabs off, and you don't have to keep them. I don't think you're gonna ever use them again, but it's just what's on the new batteries now. Then you're gonna get your padding. You're gonna go ahead and set that inside there, okay? Then you're gonna put it in. Okay, make sure it's secure. Sometimes you gotta make sure you're closer to the door than ever, okay? Now what you're gonna do to plug in your battery, you gotta make sure it's inside the middle of that metal, your prongs here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna plug that in. That's your ground. Then the red wire is gonna be your hot. You're gonna do the same thing that you did for the ground, but on the red. Red on red, black on black. Okay, some of these are a little tight. You just gotta be careful with them. Okay. So if you look up here, right here, there are two little buttons here. Those two little buttons is what in these instructions are gonna tell you. So on every control box, there's gonna be these instructions. For this particular system, this one has this type of setup. We have other systems that just have one button and then you can set up your gate. What I mean by set up your gate is you're gonna get your control box to talk to your camera. Then your camera is gonna send out an RF signal and that's gonna come here. So the remote that I'm talking about is going to set off a RF signal. Okay, so there it goes. RF signal goes ahead. And then that's it. So that's one of the things that's really nice. You can have a little remote. But to set up your control box to your camera, you're going to have to mess with these buttons. And then you have all your instructions here. And then, yeah, all these instructions. Now that we have everything set up on your control box, just gonna go over it one more time. So now you have your antenna out, ready to go, sticking out about that much. Now that you have your battery and your pad in the back, and then we also have your rod sticking out in here, and then there's your Velcro on the bottom. Now that that's all ready, and of course we got your rod here and your mount here ready. Okay, so then when you come to lift your gate, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna go here, bring it all the way up. It has to be all the way up. Then there's gonna be a little pin that comes up on the bottom of the gate. What you're gonna do is it's gonna sit right here, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pull that down once your gate's all the way up. Well, while you're working and putting your corn inside your system and everything, you're gonna go ahead and put this red little stripe with a Jager Pro on it, and it has a little pin. Where that's gonna go, it's gonna go in this little hole, okay? That hole, stick it in like that, okay? It's not gonna go. It will not go, okay? So even though it shouldn't have a malfunction, you're gonna put that in there, and then you're safe to go under, and then have it like that, okay? And then once you're ready to go ahead and trap and everything's good and secure, what you're gonna do is go ahead and pull that out, and then you can set it anywhere you want. You can put it in your truck. We say put it like over here on your lock part, or sometimes we'll go ahead and put it on a panel, okay? So that's pretty much it. That's how you mount your control box and set it up to your gate. And so that is it. Thank you for your attention.